everybody. My name is Bernard Donoghue, and I'm the chair of the board of the People's History Museum. For those who want a description, I'm about 5'10". I've got a beard. I'm 52. I'm ginger, and I look like what Prince Harry is going to look like if he continues to lead a really bad life. So that's my description. You're here in the People's History Museum, and what we're all about is the difference that individuals and people can make. That's the stories that we tell, that's who we are, that's what we do. And I'm so particularly pleased about this exhibition that we're launching tonight. 30 years ago, when I started my work in campaigning and activism, the first thing that I was working on was comprehensive anti-discrimination legislation for disabled people. And we fought then against the then Conservative government, and in particular 3 Conservative ministers for disability, and you will have heard of them: Nick Scott, William Hague, and John Major, whatever happened to them. And the fight for anti-discrimination legislation in the early 1990s was a turning point. And we were really proud to be supported and given real strength by a local MP. I'm really proud that here in Manchester, the first law to give disabled people rights was in 1970, and it was introduced by the Labour MP for Manchester Wythenshawe, Alf Morris. And 4 years later, he became the world's first Minister for Disabled People, the MP for Manchester Wythenshawe. I'm hugely proud of the way that Manchester people and politicians have led the fight, not just in terms of women's rights and suffrage and gender rights and sexual rights and employment rights and trade union rights, but also in terms of disability rights too. The work that we did then in the early 1990s as a group of people affected by anti-discrimination, I then went on to work for the National AIDS Trust to ensure that people who were HIV positive were covered by that legislation too. And in the end, we forced the government into introducing the Disability Discrimination Act. It was a big moment, a really big moment. And it wasn't perfect, and it still isn't, and the fight yet has to come again. And that's why the story of this exhibition is about fighting in the past for rights, fighting now for rights, and fighting in the future for rights too. And I think it's kind of fitting, actually, that we're having this launch about disabled people's rights to live equally, openly, with equity and equality and independence and fairness on the day of the budget. Because if there's anything that shows what a government thinks about all of those things, it's about underpinning people's independence to live equal, fair, financially independent lives. So in a bizarre set of circumstances, we didn't know today was going to be the budget. Well, frankly, the last 3 chancellors didn't know today was going to be the budget. We didn't know who the last 3 chancellors were going to be. So actually, today has become full circle. I particularly want to thank, before I hand over to Becky, I particularly want to thank all of the curatorial team here, and also all of those that we have worked with over the course of the last, 15 months. You have lent us not just artifacts, but you've lent us your stories and your voices and your trust. And honestly, that's the greatest thing that we could ever want out of a collaborative relationship with our communities. So I'm delighted that you're here. Thank you very much for coming. You're going to love the exhibition, and hopefully you'll see yourself reflected and mirrored in it too. I'd like to introduce our new interim director of the People's History Museum. Katie, who many of you know, has just gone on maternity leave literally on Friday. So we're delighted that Becky, she's having the mother of all inductions. She only started last week. So I'm delighted to introduce Becky Peters, who's our interim director for the next 12 months, to tell you a little more about the exhibition. Thank you very much.
Welcome everyone, and thank you Bernard for that lovely welcome speech. It's really great to hear. As Bernard says, it's a bit thrown into the fire here. It's my second week, so I'm just learning things, and apologies, I am going to go a bit on script here just to make sure that I thank everyone tonight. Just a visual description of me. I'm a white female. I'm wearing a black top tonight with a grey skirt. I've got blonde hair. It's bleach blonde because my roots are showing quite badly, I see. And I'm really delighted to be here tonight. Just some tiny bit of boring housekeeping. We're not expecting any fire alarm tonight, but if one does go off, then the nearest exit is to the right in the green doors, or out through where you came in on the reception area. But there's plenty of staff here tonight to help guide you and help you with anything. Also to let you know that we are live streaming tonight, so hello whoever's joining us by the live stream. So as Bernard kind of said, this exhibition explores the history of disabled people's activism and the ongoing battle that we have against oppression, discrimination, injustice, in your own words and images. It has been curated by 4 community curators, which I think are all here tonight, and 2 are speaking after me. And that's Anis Akhtar, Ruth Malkin, Hannah Ross, and Alison Wild. It's also been guided by a steering group who have been working with the museum on a variety of projects since 2018. And as Bernard quite rightly pointed out, it's testament to the amount of generous donations of objects and stories why this exhibition is so amazing. It's brilliant. I've had a tour around it and I've been around again, and I will go around tonight. It's fantastic. Loaning all those objects are just fantastic. It looks brilliant. I just want to sort of pause here again to just thank everyone. So it's not just the curators, the steering group, but lenders, partners, and the team at the People's History Museum that have put this amazing exhibition together. I know it's been truly a feat over the last 15 months. So you're welcome to applause at this point. And of course, the exhibition isn't possible with support from our programme funders as well. So it's National Lottery Heritage Fund, Garfield Weston Foundation, the Foyle Foundation, Granada Foundation, as well as our core funders, which are Greater Manchester Combined Authority and Arts Council England. So thank you to them as well, if any are there tonight. Of course, accessibility is at the heart of this work, and as you go round, we'll see that we've made a range of accessible formats. These include BSL, audio-described versions, and other formats as well. But we do understand that everyone has different access needs, so please come and talk to us about your individual access requirements, and we'll do our best to support you as you go round, and that will be very much as the exhibition goes on throughout the whole exhibition time. It's about our continual investment also into access. We know that we won't have got everything right, and we want to make changes and we want to learn. So it's an ongoing commitment. We are actually delighted that we have secured some funding for a Change in Places toilet that will be installed in the medium term. But our long-term ambition is the redevelopment of our main galleries, and with those, accessibility will be at the core. Feedback is welcome, so just want to say that again as you go round, and also when you visit in your own time with family and friends, do speak to us. We're also here tonight. come and speak to me. I'm here all evening. I'd love to hear some feedback. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our speakers tonight. So we have Lawrence Clark, who's a screenwriter and chair of Triple C, who are a BAFTA award-winning organisation supporting disabled people's access to arts and media, followed by our community curators, Ruth and Anis, and lastly, disabled activist and musician Dennis Queen, who I believe will be performing. So without further ado, I'm going to ask Lawrence to come to stage.
Hi. So, a few months ago, Michael from the museum asked Triple C, my organisation, whether we could contribute something to this exhibition. And the problem was, we just come through a pandemic. So pretty much everything we've done for the last 2 years have been online. We haven't really got any objects per se. It was all on Zoom. And I jokingly said, well, I suppose there's the BAFTA. But then we thought about it, and we thought, well, why not? Because people see we're given the BAFTA in April for the work that we've done around removing barriers to the TV industry. But it really has been a collective effort of a lot of people, so it seems right to put it in a place where lots of people can see it. And we haven't got an office. So we haven't actually got anywhere to put it ourselves at the minute. It's just been in various people's living rooms. My kids took endless selfies with it when we had it for 2 weeks. So Triple C is an organisation started by Charlie Houston, who's hiding over there. We're based in Manchester, proudly. We're a disabled-led organisation, and we now have over 1,500 deaf, disabled, and neurodivergent artists as members. And we're a little bit different to other arts organisations in that we set our sights on tackling, amongst other things, the TV industry. And for various reasons, such as funding, that just hadn't been cracked before. And also the nature of the TV industry is that everyone's freelance on short-term contracts. So unlike pretty much every other industry in this country that's employed disabled people and over the last 25 years had to make reasonable adjustments by law, this transformation just hadn't happened in TV up until now, because people couldn't get in or they weren't there long enough for the adjustments to be made. So we were webinars, we were masterclasses, we were networking events for disabled creatives to to build the networks and to meet the people in power, and we've done quite well. We've sourced talent for things like The Crown, Tiger Aspect, Silent Witness, Coronation Street, and many more productions. Our writers have worked on Casualty, EastEnders, Moving On, Coronation Street, Hollyoaks, The Dumping Ground, Biffin Ship, Princess Mirabelle. More recently, we've worked closely with productions such as The A-Word and Malkin 80, where we were able to get a large number of disabled people working behind the camera as well as in front of the camera. And the more we get in there, the more adjustments are made, the more the industry gets used to us being around. We're part of something called the TV Access Project, which is all of the broadcasters and streamers, and they've just launched a set of guidelines for the industry, and some of the commissioners would say, God, not another thing we have to do. Well, actually, those guidelines are what they should have been doing for the last 25 years. They're really not rocket science. There are things like anticipating disabled people, making adjustments, really quite basic stuff. But it shows just how far we still have to go. So I wanted to close with, well, to quote Jack Thorne, the guy who presented us with our BAFTA in April. And Jack calls the TV an empathy box. And he's right in that TV has so much power, so much influence over our society. And when disabled people have been excluded from that, as historically we have, that has an impact on public thinking, public opinion, basically our whole society. So we hope that by getting more disabled people into the industry, that will have a knock-on effect on every aspect of our society. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce two of the curators, Ruth, Malkin, and Alice Actor.
Is there a microphone? Thank you. I don't think we've decided who's going first, so let's just have a conversation. Who's going first? Are you going first? You. Okay. Well, first of all, this is without a doubt one of the best projects I've ever been involved in. It is absolutely fantastic, and it has been a real group effort. We've had the most amazing support from the museum, and as Lawrence was saying, they've done absolutely everything they can to remove the barriers, not just for the people who are coming around the exhibition, but also for us as staff. And that has been, it has been a revelation. Why can't all organisations work like this? And it has been a pleasure to work with the steering group as well, who have been in this process. They've defined this process. They've worked hard, all of them doing this voluntarily, to actually make this happen. So that has been a wonderful experience. As for gathering all the objects, for me, the thing that has been really, really positive for me is that confession, I used to be a member of the Disabled People's Direct Action Group, and I used not to be able to say that really, because it was like in the shadows, you know, it was something we weren't supposed to be doing, and it was something that was illegal, going and training yourself to trains and buses and so on. It's on the wall in there now. It's out there in the spotlight, and that is absolutely fantastic. But this exhibition is actually, there's one exhibit in there that says, change the conversation, change the outcome. And that is what this exhibition is about. We've had arguments among ourselves. I won't lie to you. It's not been easy peasy. We've argued, we've debated, we've discussed, we've disagreed with each other, and all that has been fine. And you're going to disagree as well. You're going to come in and you're going to say, why have they got that there? Why didn't they include that? Put it on the wall, because this is about starting a new conversation, and that will change the outcome for everyone. I'm going to hand over to Anis now.
Hi there, everyone. I'm Anis. My pronouns are they. I'm a short South Asian non-binary person and have a white long cane because I'm visually impaired. And in my arm, I have Izzy, the intersex red panda, who's also featured in the exhibition. So please do look out for them. I'd also like to thank Alison and Hannah, who are also two of the curators who are a bit shy to come on stage, but I'm going to embarrass them by naming them on stage. And yeah, it's been really wonderful. I started off as a steering group member originally, and then applied for this job. And I want to show you, as a British South Asian person who's visually impaired, neurodivergent, the I in LGBTI, we've got a lot of intersectional stuff in there. So disabled people of colour, disabled non-binary, disabled neurodivergent people, and disabled people of colour and LGBTI plus people have been included. And we have a future section, so please come and post all your current campaigns, and there's some questions in there that you can answer. And I'd like to welcome you all to this exhibition and introduce you to my bestie, Dennis Queen, who is an awesome artist and activist. Thank you.
Oh, yes. So I knew we were supposed to be doing something else. Okay, to round off this section of the introduction to the exhibition, before you can all go and have a look at it, we've got the fabulous Dennis Queen singing some songs.
I just introduced Dennis.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Sorry, I'm deaf. What can I do?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Hello, folks. If you give me a few seconds while I get up on this fantastic stage. Have you noticed? Because this stage has a ramp. Everyone's used the ramp. It is the path. It's fabulous. Thank you, Stan. My lovely assistant is bringing my guitar over. And thanks, Ruth and Anis, for that lovely introduction. I'm going to pass over to the other mic in a second once Alex confirms with a nod that it's on. Is the other one on? Yeah. Hi, I'm Dennis. I'm one of the ones with silly hair. it's one way to spot me. In a minute, I'm going to play a few songs that historically have been really important to the activism community. First, though, I was asked to say a few words, which normally it's difficult to get me down to a few words. But when I tried to sit and write the speech for this, I'm used to writing speeches for protest marches and things like that. I found it really hard because all I wanted to keep saying over and over is that this is our dream. We dreamed this, and it came true. And oh, dang it, you're all so empathic. This is lovely. We're gonna have fun. But, you know, jokes aside, that is very much true. And Heather and I had a conversation recently when we both said that many years ago now, we'd been in here. And I didn't know there was any museums about activism. I thought museums were just a place where you house things you stole from other nations. I didn't know there was museums about activism. So when I came in here, I just literally couldn't believe it. There was banners everywhere. I was so excited. And then I realized as I went round that we weren't really represented here, not in our own words. And what we've seen since then as the People's History Museum has put this project together and involved all the reprobates that someone else would leave out, let's be fair, are on that steering group, as well as all the sensible people and grown-ups. and we were listened to, and our stuff is there. The grassroots stuff alongside the academic stuff in equal importance, and with a very, very obvious lack of medical and patronizing stuff, which is what you would usually see in somewhere that talks about disability and our history. So really I just want to say thank you to everyone involved for making the dream come true, from everyone here at the museum who has grabbed this idea with both hands and gone whizzing ahead at top wheelchair speed with it, to see this exhibition in there that is going to take me about a month to go through because I have to read every word. It is beautiful. Just thank you, everyone. And I think, apart from that, it would probably be better to let the music do the talking from my point of view. So what I have brought tonight is a few historic songs from the disabled people's movement that have been quite influential on our activists. Some of the key songs I'm not going to play tonight, I'm saving for Saturday's launch. And because tonight was ticket only and recommended 14 upwards, what I've done is put all the spicy songs in this set. So if you don't like swearing, this was the wrong night to come out. So you'll hear some of the tunes that is what we've been singing in the bar after actions for many, many years, and that have inspired many activists, including myself. And the first one I'm going to share with you, because it's just a few tonight, is number... If I find my set list, sorry. ADHD. Ah, yes. So I'm going to start first with a song written by Karen Shader and the Fugitives in the early 90s. This is my favorite album of all time because it was punk and it was raw and it was ass-kicking, and I cannot do it justice acoustically, but I'm going to have a good try. So I hope you like it. It's called the No Hope ATC, and it's about day centres where they keep us busy and away from the real world. Yeah, so I hope you like it. I woke up this morning with a bad pain in my head. In came the care assistant who dragged me out of bed. They tell me it's for my own good that I must go for training. I've been training 27 years, besides it's fucking raining. The bus is outside waiting, they're hanging round for me to take me on a journey to the No Hope ATC. I'm bored with basket weaving, pissed off with pottery, depressed by playing dominoes, I'm going off my tree. I'm skilled in many subjects, I've got qualifications, I've been assessed, reviewed and sent for rehabilitation. But all that is on offer to people such as me is a space in institutions like the No Hope ATC. I like to take good photographs, do fine embroidery, I can knock up a cheese souffle, I can sing in the right key. My first aid might be useful in a battle situation, and I'll have to shag with safety cause I've done sex education. And now I'm pushing 40, I'm still waiting for my turn to earn a decent living from the many skills I've learned. By now I must be ready for the community, but I reckon the community is not prepared for me. That's why all around the country each morning you can see poor bastards being dragged off to the No Hope ATC. I like to take good photographs, do fine embroidery, I can knock up a cheese souffle, I can sing in the right key. My first aid might be useful in a battle situation, and I'll have to shag with safety cause I've done sex education. And now I'm pushing 40, I'm still waiting for my turn to earn a decent living from the many skills I've learned. By now I must be ready for the community, but I reckon the community is not prepared for me. That's why all around the country each morning you can see poor bastards being dragged off to the No Hope ATC. So that's The Fugitives, and it's from an album called Joyful Noise, which I and a number of other people bought the minute we found out it had been banned from Gateshead Social Services. Because the whole album was written at a day centre. Somebody got given money to do a music project, and this is some of the stuff they came up with. I mean, I thought it was great, but I can understand the problem. So The Fugitives were roundly banned at all social services buildings in the future, but they sold a heck of a lot of albums on the back of that banning. Okay, sorry, just checking what order I'm doing this stuff in. Okay, so I'm going to do next a number by the wonderful Ian Stanton. I think we got a few Ian Stanton fans in the house tonight. Fantastic. So this is going to be good for you. Then, so this one is an Ian Stanton number. It's not the only one I'm going to play, but I'm going to start with this one first. This is a wonderfully cheerful little number called We've Got Each Other. Stuff in front of me. There we are. No kind of situation, I heard you say. It's not the way for anybody to live. I feel the same way. Nothing else for us to do but fight the whole world. When it all comes down on you, hold on to me. Hold on to we. We've got each other. We've got each other. We've got each other. We've got each other. You hear the same old story over again. We're still the subject of negotiation, and nothing changes. There's nothing else for us to do but fight the whole world. When it all comes down on you, hold on to me, hold on to we. We've got each other, we've got each other, we've got each other, we've got each other. There's nothing wrong with me or you, it's not a new mistake. Pushed around and pulled aside, and cushioned on the brake. There's nothing else for us to do but fight the whole world. When it all comes down on you, hold on to me, hold on to we. We've got each other, 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 we've got each other. Next is one by Johnny Crescendo, and then I'm going to finish with one from The Fugitives. It's about the right amount of time, isn't it? I don't want to go over. Okay, so this one is a Johnny Crescendo number. This is one for all the fans of the assisted dying bill. It's named after a USA organisation that now has a sister group in the UK called Not Dead Yet. And for those of us old enough to remember, it's named after a particular Monty Python sketch. Some of you have seen it, I can hear you laughing. Where they're dragging dead bodies around during the plague, and neighbours are just bringing out bodies to chuck them on the back of this like wagon. And one of the guys they chuck on the back eventually exclaims, "I'm not dead yet." And so that became the name of organisations that we've used to fight against the sort of march towards assisted suicide. This is a song by Johnny Crescendo. It's called Not Dead Yet. Reading tabloids of fear and passion round a funeral pyre. My social worker says I qualify if I expire. The insurance man is hedging his bets. My family's gathering around my bed. I'm lying at the gates of heaven. I'm not dead yet. Doctor's coming in with pills like a graveyard junkie. There's a nurse dressed in black who says assisted suicide is funky. My mother and father know what's best. They're gonna kick Joe Egg out of the nest. I'm lying at the gates of heaven. I'm not dead yet. Artificial life, costly compassion, tube force feeding, audience reaction, quality of life versus life support. Vegetables spare your lover. Well, the man in the next bed has got a limp dick. He says if I can't masturbate, get me a hat saying kill me quick. His sexual perversion is killing me. He's gotta get a grip of responsibility. Lying at the gates of heaven, I'm not dead yet. Artificial life, costly compassion, tube force feeding, audience reaction, quality of life versus life support. Vegetate, vegetable, spare your lover. The pearly gates are ramped. Pearly gates are ramped. I know I've just been there. I was kind of amazed to see St. Peter roll up in a wheelchair. I said, hey Pete, I wanna go back. He said, go and give shit to Dr. Quack. Lying at the gates of heaven, I'm not dead. Lying at the gates of heaven, I'm not dead. Lying at the gates of heaven, I'm not dead yet. I'm not dead yet. I'm not dead yet. So if you've never seen me play before, this song might come as a bit of a surprise, but for everyone who has seen me play before, obviously this is an occasion where I need to finish with the song that adopted me, that's by The Fugitives. This is how I started playing covers, by the way, from other artists. So we would, after actions, we would pass the guitar around in the bar, and people found out I could cover a couple of tunes. And this song adopted me, so my next gig I went to, just because I'd played it in the bar, so that was it. I get on stage, and I've got friends from down in the front, and all you can hear in between every song is them going, bollocks, bollocks. I was just like, you sods. Like, nobody else knows that's a song that you're referencing. It just sounds like you hate me. No one minded. So after that, I started playing it in most of my sets in the hope that no one would shout that I was bollocks anymore. So this is a song called Bar and Bollocks. It's a song that's dedicated to everyone who talks shit about us. And let's face it, lots of people have got an opinion, haven't they? So it's by The Fugitives. It's called Bar and Bollocks. Oh, wait, there's a chorus near the end. Sorry, Steve's laughing. But like, this is where I threaten to keep you all in if you don't join in at the end. So if I don't hear singing at the end, I go back to the beginning and you all have to do it again anyway, right? So it just, you might as well just humor me, sing the chorus when we get there. And the chorus goes like this. Bollocks to you and bollocks to you and bollocks to you and bollocks to you. Do you think we can do that? Do you want to have a rehearsal? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Bollocks to you and bollocks to you and bollocks to you and bollocks to you. Right, those of you who know this, I expect to see you singing louder. Right, if you can't drown out the new people, something's really wrong here. Let's try that one more time, okay? You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Bollocks to you and bollocks to you and bollocks to you and bollocks to you. Nice. Bollocks to you and bollocks to you and bollocks to you and bollocks to you. Oh yes, see, it's fun. And also, if you'd like to sign along, as you can see, Tony's been showing you the signs for it. I like the way Tony varies the signs as well. He's really inclusive. So we have different kinds of bollocks in here. Like, these are the nuances you can't get across in English, which English just isn't as clever as sign language. Tony can get across, you know, big balls, little balls, just having one ball, maybe having unequal sizes of balls, and he always does. So I've never thought about balls the same way since I met Tony and we did this together. You ready, love? Yeah. Right. we go. I've gotten out against the poor handicapped. Some of them even drink beer. And I don't mind admitting I mix with them. The odd time one wanders in here. I've been known to buy Jack a Newcastle Brown. He's blind and he uses a crutch. We always let him sit here next to us. Mind, nobody talks to him much. Ah, ah, ah. Well, me sister's Ben was born spastic, confined to an invalid chair. But it's marvellous what all them specialist schools can do for those poor kids like her. So don't make fun of the handicapped, because some of them have feelings too. It's not their fault that they're made like they are. Just be thankful it's not one of you. And I think they were sent for a bloody good cause, just to make normal folks stop and think. There, but for the grace of the good Lord, go I. Here, does anyone want one more drink? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You reckon that you're our champion, defender of all poor crips. Well, I just can't believe the crap that I've heard that comes pouring out of your lips. You like to keep us where you think we belong, with sentiment and prejudice. I hope that some tosspot talks shite about you next time you go out on the piss. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, here we go, it's your bit. You ready? Bollocks to you, and bollocks to you, and bollocks to you, and bollocks to you. Bollocks to you, and bollocks to you, and bollocks to you, and bollocks to you. Bollocks to you, and bollocks to you, bollocks to you. Bollocks to you, bollocks to you, and bollocks to you, and bollocks to you, and bollocks to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You were great. Hopefully we can do bollocks together again sometime. I mean that sincerely, honestly. Are you coming up at the end? Who's coming up at the end? I am now going to pass back to our wonderful acting director, is it? Acting director? Interim director. You got sparkles on your skirt and you didn't say it, and I was just going, she's got sparkles on that skirt too. So it's very, very cute. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis, Queen, for that. I think I'll have that tune in my head now all night. It's brilliant. That was a fantastic way to open the exhibition. I won't keep you long because I know you're dying to see the exhibition and look at the other galleries, but just a few more words for me, that there is a quiet installation that we have upstairs, and that's been developed with young deaf people. Please do make an effort to see that tonight or come back to see that. We are opening the galleries and the exhibition all evening until about 9 o'clock, so hopefully that's enough time to look at everything this evening. And I wouldn't be doing my job properly if I didn't say that we are an independent charity. We do rely on donations. If you are able to donate anything tonight or come back, we really, really appreciate it. Or the shop is also open. If you want to buy a gift, there's Christmas coming up, so there's some lovely things to buy. Do come in there and do sign up to our e-newsletter. Do tell your family and friends to come and visit and share on our Twitter. We really appreciate getting the word out about this amazing museum and all the work that we're doing here. So without further further ado, it's just welcome and thank you all for coming tonight. It's really great to see you all here, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.